What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to be doing a devlog on Grand Tactician's third devlog for their upcoming game, which they're calling GT2, which I believe is going to be Grand Tactician Napoleon. I'm not at peak level today. I'm at like 2 or 3%. No job and the things that I had that were planned that I thought I was going to be able to get a contract job, just things are getting really bad. But progress on my game, The Glorious Cause, is underway. So that is getting me some motivation. I got a final map produced by this incredible 2D artist. And I got a date to talk to Slytherin and pitch the game to them. So good things. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on this. I would appreciate if anybody could, join in on this Patreon. The minimum, is $2, so it's not a lot. I mean, just flip over your couch cushion. You'll find about $2 in there. And I have tons of things like the maps that we're using. The map that I made and the map that she made is wow difference. I have unit icons, but I think I'm hiring a professional artist to even go down that road. We're going to be doing polls on that, so dive into this if you're interested in American Revolution, an American Revolution strategy game, or just that you want to support this, because this engine is going to be used for other conflicts. I just want to point that out. So anyway, let's get into this. In GT2, working title and the reworked battle layer, we've adjusted the command and control logic a bit to allow further tactical flexibility in the gameplay. Like before, order delays, couriers carrying the commander's orders along the chain of command are complicated things, but there are more options on how to use the commanders during a battle, and the units have a bit more initiative when allowed. Interesting. Like in Civil War GT1, an army is built into a military hierarchy, forming an order of battle. In the bottom are the units. There are the playable single entities on the battlefield. GT1 has brigades and artillery battalions. Multiple units can be organized into groups with its own commander. Multiple groups can be further grouped together with their own commander, and these placed under the army commander, and so on and so on. So brigade, division, army. This hierarchy forms a basis of command and control. When the order is given to a unit, the order must travel through organization and appropriate commanders before reaching the unit for execution. So far, nothing new. The first change comes with the couriers delivering the orders. This time round, they will avoid the enemy, which is good, because I actually saw the couriers numerous times in the Civil War going through enemy lines, and I'm like, yeah, I can imagine somebody stopping that. Oh, you're a courier for. This time around, they'll avoid the enemy, which may complicate their journey. It is possible a courier does not manage to reach his target. That is cool, which is effectively can lead to part of your army being out of your control. I like that, at least for a short while. Trying to find the recipient in thick smoke and disorganized close combat may also slow down the delivery of your orders. I like that. Now, just point that out. You can turn that on and off. I usually leave it on because it gives you a little bit more realism. But when you start Grand Tactician Civil War, you could turn it off and it's just automatic. In the new system, commanders have their own small headquarters escorts that not only point out their location and act as order delay nodes, but are combat elements. These elements are attached to units during the battle, and their position can be easily adjusted to enable improved command and control when needed. When the commander is with a unit, he is able to give orders directly to the unit. Okay, which speeds up things considerably, eliminating the need for delivery of written orders. Okay, yeah. Because, obviously, if you were, right next to the the regiment or the brigade, and you're the division commander, you don't have to be move your army, move your division or brigade to the left. Give this to the guy right there. It's just these elements are attached to units during the battle, and their position can easily adjust it to enable improve command and control when needed. When a commander is with a unit, he is able to give orders directly to the unit, which we'll cover that. The commander can only embed himself in units under his command. Of course, if commanders are close to one another, orders are delivered faster. The unit the army commander is with reacts the fastest, as with the orders don't need to be distributed further. This allows forming a point of main effort where order delays are shorter if needed. Also, having these commanders in the thick of a battle with their men will increase motivation. Nice. While also increasing the chance of commander casualties. Yeah, I can mention that. Of course, if you have, for example, have the commanders focused on running the battle of the right wing, the left wing will be slower to control. Yeah, I've noticed that happening. These images provide a comparison between the two optional use of commanders with their pros and cons. Your army blue is facing the enemy red, and an opportunity presents itself. At the extreme right flank, you have a cavalry brigade of a cavalry division that is in position to turn the enemy flank. Time is of the essence before the enemy can reinforce this flank and empty your plans. So HQ, Army HQ, goes to Division HQ, which goes to Brigade HQ, which goes to the regiments, and then the regiments react. And the same thing here. So Central Command. Here your army is in central balanced location, deploy with the army reserves, a safe distance from the front. In this situation, in total, we have 5 written orders and 5 couriers, covering a total of, it's a lot. This takes time. On the other hand, if the army commander needs to send orders to the brigade in the first echelon of the left flank, delay will be similar. Now, option B, commanding from the front. So you have the army commander right there. Here, the army commander decides to take command, move personally. It's kind of like a Jackson kind of thing. He also placed himself in the brigade in question, so that brigade right there, and also takes the division commander with him. In total, we have 3 written orders, 3 couriers covering a total of a few hundred meters. At most, this takes very little time in comparison to option A. The attack commences shortly, and the command control of the is excellent. The con is if the army commander would need to send orders to units the other flank of the army, there would be 4 kilometers to cover, and if the flanking move is successful, the army may find itself behind the enemy line from where the courier would need to run. Yeah, that's interesting. Further increasing delays. And of course, there's a high probability of lead poisoning for your brave commander. Lead poisoning, because it would have to go here, then up here. Interesting. Unit initiative. In GT1, stances are given to group commanders, who in turn will give orders to their units according to situations, instructions by player, like formation. In G2, stances are moved a step down to unit level. This increases the initiative of units and resolve in a more appropriate and timely reaction. Players can... That's my son, by the way. Players can set a stance to each unit, individual or per group. There's also an option to order the unit commander to follow my specific orders, which means player can and must control every aspect of the unit's behavior. But this, of course, is subject to order delays. Yeah, I can imagine. When given a stance, a unit will act independently. The independent activity, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. So I could, like, in essence, like, not detach the unit, but the unit will go from the army commander to, you know, just that specific brigade. Interesting. This independent activity includes a choice of formation, engagement, range, and firing system used. Movement, limbering, skirmishers are also carried over to any attached elements. In GT1, the stances are screen, defend, attack, and assault. Okay, in GT2, the toolbox is expanded and the available are skirmish, hold ground. Oh, I like that. Counter charge. I like that. Assault and reserve. Okay, so these two are going to be extremely effective because I need something like that in Civil War. I wonder if they're going to attach these to Civil War down the road after they release GT2, which, let's be honest, Grand Tactician Napoleon, or I doubt it's going to be Grand Tactician, the 1870s conflicts in Europe, because they're not as high profile as the Napoleon conflict. If you make a game, these are like the top, if you ever want to make a development game, right? Strategy, whatever. RPG, whatever. These are like where you're going to get the most attention and, well, revenue. And I'm not going to put it in any particular order. World War II, Civil War, Napoleon, and I can't think of anything else. You could probably try to slip in World War I, but probably not so much. Those three main conflicts. If you kind of focus your game on those, you're guaranteed to receive a lot of attention. Now, my game is on the American Revolution. And so American Revolution games don't get as much attention right now. Just go to Matrix Games or Slytherin, or go to pretty much any publisher, and it's usually Civil War, Civil War, Civil War, Civil War, World War II, World War II, World War II, World War II. I mean, look at just like Battlefield or Call of Duty, or just strategy games, Grand Tacticians. How many Civil War strategy games there are? There's just a lot. How many American Revolution War games are there? And I can tell you, going on Steam, there's not a lot. I don't even think it filled the page. So, and available stances are those two. Examples of such initiative: when ordered to attack, when moving out, the unit may deploy skirmishers to mask their movement. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I like that. Crossing difficulty terrain, the unit may adapt formation accordingly. For example, from a line to a column, where alignment is easier to maintain and movement generally faster. Long distance, unit may engage enemies with volleys by subunits like platoon to maintain pressure and control ammo consumption, since accuracy is limited due to range. Interesting. Closing up with the enemy, the unit may form... That's pretty... Yeah. Closing up with the enemy, the unit may form line and start firing by rank, or even full unit volleys to magnetize shock effect. If enemy is weak, the unit may choose to charge into melee to break the enemy line. That is going to be very cool. And to do it using an attack column if the enemy formation is fragmented. If charge fails, the unit may fall back and switch to defensive if morale falters, or try to against once recovered. In case the charge succeeds, and if conditioned to still do so, the unit may press on and pursue the broken enemy, inflicting further casualties. Oh, I like that. Okay, very cool. And this is from Illa, the lead designer. Now, I gotta give huge props. So I'm making my own game, right? The prototype, I'm going before Slytherin and pitching this game to them. The prototype is being developed. I have a programmer doing this. I have a 2D designer that is doing the UI. I already have another 2D designer that made the actual map, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But I'll be honest, it is difficult to do these devlogs and actually add stuff like this while also designing the game, while also dealing with the game logic, while also... It's a lot. So I gotta give huge props to them, because I don't know how some of these small indie devs do it. You gotta do it all. You gotta make the dev logic. You gotta reach out to, I'm reaching out to a new 2D artist to do sprites and animations. So when units go from, column formation and line formation, I want, like when they fire a volley, a nice beautiful cloud to form up, and then possibly like the cloud to expand and further, and then have the logic like the firing be less effective because the cloud is just getting so big they can't see the enemy. So there's a lot of things to consider, and how many hit points, and there's a lot. Anyway, this is interesting. I look forward to their next devlog, which probably will be soon, because they do it every, 60, 100 days, something like that. So I look forward to their official announcement. I did talk to them about coming on the Strategy Wargamers show to do interview, so we can find out a little bit more, but they want to get closer to the game's release. Who knows? They might even announce the game on my on the podcast. So that's gonna be interesting. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Catch you next one. See you then.